All right, if you've been following what's been happening at Brown's minicamp, then you know something wild is unfolding, and I mean wild in the best possible way. We're witnessing what could be the early stages of a legit quarterback shakeup. And the name at the center of it all? Shedeur Sanders. Now, I've seen Shedeur take second-team reps before. It's not unheard of, but what happened today really caught my attention. During one of the team's move-the-ball periods, and this wasn't just any drill, it was one of the first real high-tempo move-the-ball sessions we've seen. Shedeur got the call to go in with the second team, not Dylan Gabriel. Shedeur. And then Gabriel followed him up with the third team. That might not sound like a huge deal to some people, but if you've been paying attention to this QB room, you know exactly how big that is. Because this isn't just about reps. This is about pecking order, about trust, about momentum. And today, for the first time, Shedeur got a shot above Gabriel. It was just one instance, sure, but in a competition this tight, one instance speaks volumes. And honestly, I think he's earned it. I think everyone out there who's been watching practice, who's been tuned in day after day, has seen it building. He's been locked in. Every day he's been getting sharper, more focused, more commanding. What stands out to me even more than the reps, though, is his mindset. The way Shedeur carries himself through this whole situation, it's rare. You're talking about a guy who was buried on the depth chart just days ago, fourth string, barely getting any reps. Yet he stayed calm. He didn't lash out. He didn't beg for attention. He just put his head down and went to work. And now, that work is starting to turn heads. He said it himself, something that really stuck with me. He said, "You've got to understand the situation you're in. Whether you're getting reps or not, you can either take it negatively or you can use it to push yourself harder." That kind of mentality, that's not something you teach. That's something you're built with. So please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. So now we're in this moment where everything's starting to shift. The Browns have officially bumped Shedeur up to second-team reps. That's not a rumor anymore. That's straight from Mary Kay Cabot, one of the most trusted insiders covering the Browns. She said he's been handling everything the coaching staff is throwing at him with maturity, with poise, with precision. And I believe it. I mean, the guy's been throwing darts out there. Pinpoint accuracy. He's delivering the ball on time. His receivers don't have to break stride. His decision-making is quick, and he's already showing a solid command of the playbook. When he steps into the huddle, there's a confidence that's starting to radiate. The players feel it. The coaches see it. He looks like he belongs, and it's not just a few flashy throws here and there. That's the thing. It's not just moments. It's consistency. Every rep looks intentional. Every movement has purpose. That's what separates camp hype from real potential. And right now, Shedeur is showing us the real thing. The buzz is growing fast. And it's not just coming from Cleveland media. Even Stephen A. Smith took a moment to recognize what Shedeur is doing out there. And we know Stephen A. doesn't hand out compliments unless they're earned. He talked about how this isn't just about talent anymore. It's about leadership. It's about presence. It's about mental toughness. And Shedeur, in his words, has that will to win that you just can't teach. Now think about this. This is a kid who was drafted 144th overall in the 5th round. We all know that number doesn't represent his real talent. We all know that if his last name wasn't Sanders, and if certain narratives weren't working against him, he would have gone way higher. But the draft is what it is. It's political. It's flawed. And honestly, maybe that's the best thing that could have happened to him. Because now, he's got something to prove, and he's proving it. Just a few days ago, the reports were honestly a little discouraging. Mary Kay said he was working exclusively with the 4th team. I mean, 4th team? That's almost like a message that says, we're not even thinking about you for the preseason. That's where they had him. Coaches were treating him like a developmental project at best, and when that news broke, people noticed. Fans were confused. Analysts were raising their eyebrows. Even some folks inside league circles were reportedly scratching their heads wondering why Shedeur was being pushed so far down the depth chart. But the beautiful thing is, he didn't complain. Not once. He didn't feed into the noise. He didn't try to defend himself with words. He let his play do the talking, and it spoke volumes. And now we're here, second team. That's a big step. And if he keeps this up, the first team isn't that far off, especially when you've got people like LeSean McCoy backing him up. McCoy straight up said, "Nobody can say anything bad about Shedeur. He's that good." And while he gave Dylan Gabriel his respect as a third-round pick, he also said both. These quarterbacks need to get equal chances with the first-team offense. Same receivers, same tempo, same pressure. And he's absolutely right, because how can you truly evaluate Shedeur's ceiling if you don't give him a shot with the ones? Let him throw to the top guys. Let him face the top defense. Then we'll really see what he's made of. And to be honest, I think we already know. But fine, put him in that pressure cooker. I guarantee he rises again. Even James Jones jumped into the conversation, and he didn't pull any punches either. He flat out said it. If the young guys are showing out, there's no reason to keep leaning on veterans like Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett. He said it plain, if these boys are doing good, why keep looking backward? And man, I felt that. Because we've seen it for years. The Browns have been stuck in this loop, chasing temporary fixes, never building for the future. Maybe now, finally, they've got a real opportunity to change that. Maybe Shedeur Sanders is that guy. So let's just take this in for a second. From fourth on the depth chart to now repping with the twos. From being overlooked to becoming one of the most talked about players at camp. This is what it looks like when a player refuses to be boxed in. This is what happens when talent, mindset, and hard work collide. He's not just fighting for a roster spot anymore. He's pushing for the throne. Now, I know some people rolled their eyes when LeSean McCoy first started talking about fairness. You remember, he was the one saying Shedeur deserved a real opportunity, not just to be thrown into some bottom-of-the-roster role and forgotten about. He was calling for actual reps, a legitimate shot at competing. And back then, that felt like a long shot. I mean, the kid came in as a fourth-team quarterback, fourth string. That's usually where they stash the guys who are just camp. Bodies. Someone to throw a few scout team reps and disappear by preseason. But here we are, just a few weeks later. And guess what? LeSean McCoy might have been onto something. Shedeur has now been officially promoted to the second team. That's not nothing. That is a massive leap, especially in such a short amount of time. That tells me one thing. This coaching staff is seeing what we're seeing. They're seeing the poise, the accuracy, the command of the offense. And let me tell you, when a rookie forces coaches to move him up the depth chart this early, that means he's doing something special. You don't just leapfrog a depth chart for looking decent. You leap for looking undeniable. And right now, it's looking like Shedeur is making that kind of noise. Quietly but consistently. He's not out here making TikToks, doing interviews, or trying to be the face of the franchise before earning it. He's doing what real quarterbacks do, showing up, leading, and delivering. So, please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. And look, this isn't just about McCoy. James Jones has now chimed in, and he didn't sugarcoat a single word. He flat out questioned why guys like Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett are still sitting ahead of Shedeur Sanders when the young guys are the ones flashing upside. And honestly, that hit me, because he's right. What exactly are we holding on to with these veterans? Flacco is a legend in his own right, and Pickett still has potential, sure. But we've seen this movie before, with both of them. Flacco is good for a stretch, maybe a surprise win or two. And then, he fades. And Pickett? He's inconsistent. That's just facts. So why are we pretending we don't know how that ends? Jones said it best. I keep hearing 5 games. 5 games, 3 games, 3 games. That's what you're going to get. And he's not wrong. It's the same script. A few average performances, maybe a game-winning drive here or there, and then mediocrity sets in. And as Browns fans, We've had enough mediocrity to last a lifetime. So yeah, Jones is saying what we've all been thinking. If these veterans are placeholders, why not let the kid play? Why not find out right now if Shedeur Sanders can actually be the future? Because here's the thing. This isn't just about potential. This isn't just a guy who looks the part in a jersey. Shedeur is checking all the boxes. His mechanics? Clean. His decision-making? Surprisingly sharp for a rookie. His leadership? That's what's really catching attention. You can tell his teammates are responding to him. And you know what else I've noticed? The pressure doesn't rattle him. That's a rare trait, especially for a young quarterback trying to climb out of the basement of the depth chart. We've seen a lot of highly touted young quarterbacks come through this league. Some flash early and disappear, others never even get the chance to grow. But what makes Shedeur stand out to me is his patience. He doesn't rush plays and he doesn't panic when things break down. That kind of composure, you can't teach that. That's built from something deeper. That's the sign of someone who's not just trying to be in the NFL, he's trying to own it. From a narrative standpoint, Shedeur Sanders' rise is one of the most compelling arcs we've seen in the NFL this offseason. He started at the very bottom, fourth team. That's almost an afterthought. But instead of complaining or demanding things, he worked. And now, he's one level away from taking first-team snaps. Think about how big that is. One solid preseason showing. And he could be looking at an actual chance to lead this team out of the tunnel on Sunday. And let's talk about the energy in Cleveland right now. For the first time in a long time, this city is buzzing about possibility again. Not just patchwork fixes or hoping a journeyman can squeak out 9 wins. Real possibility, the idea that maybe, the answer has already arrived, and we're just watching it slowly unfold. Now, let me be clear. This isn't me declaring Shedeur Sanders as the next Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow. I'm not handing him the crown yet. He still has a lot to prove. Preseason will be critical. The moment he steps onto that field in a real game scenario, even if it's just against second-string defenses, we're going to learn a lot. Can he handle the speed? Can he adjust on the fly? Can he carry momentum and turn it into points? All of that remains to be seen. But what I am saying is this. He's earned the right to be taken seriously. He's earned the right to be evaluated, not as an experiment, but as a real contender. He's earned the reps. And if I'm in that coaching room, I'm finding every way possible to see what he can do with the starters. Because the sooner we find out what we have, the better off this franchise is going to be. So now I want to hear from you. What do you make of Shedeur Sanders' rise through the Browns' depth chart? Has he truly earned his shot with the first team? Or are you still hesitant? Do you think it's too early to make that call? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe this could be the start of something special? Or do you think we need to see more before buying in? Is Shedeur the quarterback we've been waiting for all these years? Or is this just another flash in the pan? Let me know what you're seeing, what you're feeling, because I can't lie. Watching this kid work his way up has got me believing. Again, and man, that feels good to say. Thanks for watching and see you next one.